Hello and welcome back to Xpwaste, where it is possible to propose to somebody in Runescape with a bird's nest. I'm Michael.
And I didn't know that. Hi, I'm Oxie. We're a podcast that talks a lot about old school RuneScape. And today we're going to be doing just that. We're going to be talking a lot about old school RuneScape, despite nothing really happening in the game these past couple of weeks. They're keeping it quiet, which if you guys are kind of like Michael and I, we're a little suspicious that they're so quiet. Like something's coming. Summer Sweep Up Part 3. Sailing arrives the day before this episode comes out. Like they just announced Gridmaster, which we'll touch on that very briefly. But like, what are you up to, Jagex? What are you up to? If you're not new around here, hello. Football season is back, and we have a hard cutoff of 4 p.m. Eastern time, so your favorite podcast host can go watch his favorite NFL team. So, I'm like vibrating with happiness. I'm so excited. MSU won last night too. Oh, what a day. RIP to my Boston College fans. That was a fantastic game. How are you, Michael? What's your week been like?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I'm finally not feeling sick every single day, which is great. I know it's been a saga the past couple of episodes where I've sounded congested. I haven't been fully here. It's just like getting sick sucks. And I feel like I'm finally cresting that hill of like, I don't have as much sinus pressure, not coughing as much. So that's great. I'm feeling great. This week has been, it was a holiday weekend here in the US.
It was, yes.
And so my work week was shorter, which was kind of nice. And like as a father who has a child, I didn't really have a day off because my kid wasn't like in daycare / school or whatever. So it's not like, oh, I had a holiday. I could just play RuneScape all day. I mean, I was hanging out with my kid. So it was a day off. That's all that matters. What have I done this week in the game? I'm slowly catching up on some of the skills that were kind of close to a level. Like I was like 60k away from 97 attack. I got that. I was very close to a level in smithing, currently 85. I think I was super, super close to a crafting level. So I got that. Other than that, I've done a bit of Slayer here and there. Still working on that Hydra task, by the way. I think currently I have like 68 left.
How many did you have last week?
75. So we're doing a clean like almost 10 a week probably, which yeah, it's fine. I mean, I like killing Hydra. Don't get me wrong, but I can only stand like maybe 8 or 9 kills at a time, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Maybe that will change once I get a drop, and maybe I'll get like a ring piece, and then I'll be going for the ring, or maybe I get a claw, and then we have to do some more God Wars dungeon. But for right now, I'm just slowly chipping away, still keeping to myself to that. I'm going to finish it at Hydra bet that I have for myself. And speaking of bet, Oxie won. He won the bet from last week, obviously. Man did his Araxor task, I think, in like, you said you did like 80 in a day or something on Saturday?
No, I didn't do 80 in a day. I did 123 on Monday.
Yeah, there you go. That was a good holiday for you. I probably, if I actually had like a quote unquote day off where I could just, play RuneScape for the morning and in the early afternoon, I probably would have finished my Hydra task. But like editing and wanting to hang out with my family and all of that kind of stuff like culminates into sometimes I just like when I get on, I don't want to boss. And that's why really I got 8 kills. I'm like, okay, that's good enough for this week. But I hope to finish it and like to stop milking this content of talking about my one singular Hydra task that I've ever had since hitting 95 Slayer. The problem is I have task storage, which if you don't have task storage yet, it's cheaper now. You should go buy it, listener, viewer, whoever you are. It's only 500 points. And I think that is a massive deal. So you should go buy task storage and be like me. Whenever you're tired of your Hydra task, you just switch to your Abbey Demons task. And then you go and you get a Dark Beast task. And you could just ignore the stuff you don't want to do at the moment. So get task storage, make your life so much better. But yeah, that's what I did. So instead of having to stick to my Hydra task, I was able to like swap it back out and do my Abbey Demons task and do some hard clues, which still still hunting the stuff that I need for those other clue steps. Like I'm still stuck on a master step where I need a black dragon mask, and I don't feel like juggling because I could just drop the one that requires a black dragon mask and try and finish another clue, but I don't really like juggling. At this point, it's like if I can get 3 clues, that's enough for me. I'll just keep them in the scroll pack and then eventually do them. But what else have I done? I still haven't finished the final Dawn. So I guess maybe next week or the week after we'll talk about that. I keep forgetting that you get like a free sword from that thing, from that quest. And it's actually pretty good. It's like a spec weapon.
It's like better than Void Waker some places.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, like where you use both. From what I have been told, it's better than Void Waker some spots, which is crazy.
Yeah, friendship with Void Waker ended. Hello, free quest item. No, I still want a Void Waker. We did go like at me, Fear, and Ralph went on, I think Thursday night. We went to kill Callisto. I mean, we got probably like maybe 10 kills, maybe 15 at most. PKR showed up at least 3 times. It was just annoying. Like on a Thursday night, why is it so hot? So we did get some done. And I think it just solidifies for me that I would much rather do Callisto with people in TNL, like Church of Bear, and have there be, 10 people there. Somebody else is freezing. I don't really have to pay attention because I was the freezer when we were doing Bear. And it's so much to worry about. Like, I just want to relax. I just want to chill out, AFK the Bear, and hope for a drop. I think the one that we'll end up like doing as a group is Venenatus. Or maybe individually we'll all go do Spindle.
Who's going to tell him that he's going to have to bring Shins or a spam, like an area of effect weapon when he goes to Venenatus?
Dude, I just bring darts or knives. They have like 5 HP.
I know.
Maybe not even that.
I've done a lot of Venenatus. I know that.
Yeah, I'm not getting crazy with it. So, Oxie, how are you, Mr. Football Man?
I'm Mr. Football Man. I'm good. I'm good. I just got home from a wedding, not like just this second, but this weekend I went to a wedding, my cousin's wedding. It was great. Fantastic time at the wedding with people. Had a pretty good weekend overall. Friday night, a lot of fun. And then this past week, so we recorded on Saturday. Sunday, I did this whole wonderful beach day. Went back to my hometown for a day. It was fantastic. Monday, I did nothing. Like Sunday, I went from like the peak, ideal, fun holiday weekend day. And then Monday, I literally woke up and was like, yeah, I'll play video games. And then without realizing it, spent 5.5 hours at a Raxor. I did 123 in a day. I got the Nid pet.
Spider-Man,
which was huge. So I believe that's every spider in the game on my main account. I think.
Do you have Lil Zik?
Yeah, I have 2 Little Zicks.
Oh, sick.
So I have 2 Tob pets. I have Sarachnis, I have Venenatus, and I have a Raxor. I think that's every spider pet in the game. Which part of me is like, do I just finish the entomology collection? Which is cool because Scorpia is a lot of fun, but it's not cool because holy shit, I don't want to grind Calphite Queen for the pet.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, but I did get the Nid pet. My PB at Araxor is like, let me see. My Araxor PB is 54 seconds, so I've had the coagulated venom for a long time. Finally got to use it, which is cool. So +1 free bank space, which is nice. Honestly, I don't know if I have done anything else in the game. And it once again comes down to strictly just not being able to play that much, just like having obligations, seeing people. Again, fencing is a big part of it. We did bingo planning again this week, which totally got thrown off. We will talk about that here very, very soon. Why bingo feels like it's in shambles. It's not. We're just being bitches about it.
Don't say we.
But no, it's we. It's everyone. Michael doesn't seem to understand the implications of it, but the rest of the admin team is pretty pissed off.
I literally
the rest
do.
of the admin team is pretty pissed off about it. Let me see what else. My new current grind on the main, I've done the math. It's about 5 episodes worth of grinding for this particular set of clogs. Brimhaven Agility Arena. Currently, Brimhaven, I think it's a mini game. Yeah, it's under mini games. I was like, oh, why don't I have the Agility Arena tickets to the vouchers? That's weird. I need like 800 total vouchers, like 850 vouchers total, which is with the Elite Diary, like 15 hours. And I'm like, we do about 2.5-ish hours per episode. So that's like 5 episodes worth of like just doing Agility Arena on the main and then literally not touching it outside of that, which like I'm fine with, you know? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. One of them is just strictly used for XP. Like the vouchers are what you use to buy like the Toad Flax and the Graceful and the Pirate Hook. But the tickets, I believe the Agility Arena tickets are the ones that you get the XP for. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's one
get
of them.
Yeah, you get 30. Let me see. Tagging a dispenser awards 30 experience, 10 every 10 agility levels, and then oh, okay, yeah. So you get 345 experience per ticket, or 380 if you have Karamja gloves too. And I think you can just stack these up and spam the shit out of them and get a lot of XP. So like this could have been a maxing grind saga. I think it's only like 300k for
Yeah.
if you green log it. So it's not a lot of agility XP. So I'm glad I did Hald Sepulcher. But yeah, this is going to be my new AFK grind. I need something new to do on the iron. I need something new. I don't know what it's going to be. I have a rune dragon task that I could finish. I have like 6 rune dragons because I got them right before the update, which holy shit, thank God, because 40 metal dragons. I did that on the main too, super quick with a shadow, not with a whip though, unfortunately. So yeah, I got to finish that rune dragon task on the Iron Man and then find something to do that isn't corrupted gauntlet. Not that I don't like the corrupted gauntlet, I just can't do it while recording. I can do it while recording. I just can't be a good podcast host while recording, if that makes sense. So I need something new to do on the Iron Man that I can like actively pursue, or rather passively pursue, I guess is a better term. Like I want something I can passively pursue on the Iron that I can do while I record, because Brimhaven Agility Arena, you do things like every 60 seconds. Like it's a relatively low intense thing. Like I just got a ticket and then hop back to another thing and it's been 10 seconds. So I just have to sit here for 45 seconds. It's pretty chill. So I don't know, find something else to do. But like other than that, IRL's been a ton of fun, busy with fencing. First tournament of the regular season. I mean, technically that was the duelist. My first home tournament of the regular season is this Saturday though. So the day this episode comes out, I have a tournament on the 13th, which will be pretty sick. That's what I've been up to. Oh, Michael, Gridmaster.
I feel like if this was any other time of the year, you wouldn't have just said Greek Master.
Ugh, Gridmaster. Oh, so the more important thing, particularly for community members within the Xpwaste podcast, right? Like if you guys are a part of TNL, if you hang out on the Discord a lot, notably you're excited for bingo, this applies to you first and foremost. We have moved the dates of bingo. Bingo has officially been moved. Bingo is now occurring on December 6th through December 13th. Once again, December 6th through December 13th is when bingo will be taking place. That is because of Gridmaster. 100 million percent it is because of Gridmaster. Not that we're like, oh my God, Jagex is going to do bingo better than us. We have to make sure that like they don't overlap. It's because we don't know if there will be a special icon indicating that you are on a Gridmaster world. And a lot of the ways that we have traditionally accepted submissions, right? Like with like clan chat notifications and things like that, we can't validate on a potentially limited time game mode world. So we're trying not to do that. Like we can't avoid that in any way. We've talked it over, we've tried to figure it out, but because of just the way they're having it, right? And the timing that they're doing it, Gridmaster ends on Wednesday, or it would have ended the Wednesday of our original dates in November. And we just can't. So we had to move it, which also is worrying because sailing ? We still don't know when sailing is going to be out. We really hope sailing does not come out like the week before bingo. That would really suck. But like we said at the top of the episode, maybe that's why they've been so quiet. Maybe at the beginning of October, they'll be like, oh, by the way, surprise, here's sailing. People keep theorizing that they're going to drop sailing during Gridmaster as like a stress test. But
I think by people, you mean Tiki. He's literally the only one
the admin
who is convinced.
Sure. It's still Tiki's people, right? Tiki counts as people. Just because he's an Iron Man, he's people.
Oh my gosh.
But I think Jagex loses something very special if the release of sailing is at Gridmaster and not in the main game. You lose something very special doing that. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But how are you feeling about Gridmaster, Michael? Because I think our own bingo problems aside, Gridmaster seems fun.
It does. It does. I think like it's weird looking back that this wasn't announced at RuneFest as like something that was on the roadmap. They told us like we're not getting a league this year, and then they announced RS3 leagues. I can't accept that this was that last minute, but maybe it was. Maybe they were just like, we got to do something for our, for OSRS, and it was easy to do. Maybe like it could have been that like whoever was working on that bingo interface, got more progress on it, and they're like, yeah, well, let's just run a limited time game mode. But
it's not even a limited time game mode. It's like a community event, which is where we're like, is a community event going to be different than a limited time game mode? And with increased drop rate or with increased XP, is there theoretically going to be increased drop rates too? Because this community event is not going to last forever. So there are just so many barriers to us successfully running this event.
Yeah. Had we known more about it, we probably could try.
Yeah.
But to me, like having our bingo butt up against the end of this event, validation things aside, everything else aside, it doesn't. I feel like having a break after this community event is kind of nice. Like it'll end the beginning of November, and then we'll do our bingo a month later. And that also helps people with any sort of burnout from the RS3 league if they ended up playing that entire thing and they want to play a bingo, then you have a month off. If you're in the US, you have a nice holiday break, and then we get right into what people are calling Wintingo instead of Flingo. So it technically, guys, winter doesn't start until I think the 21st or 22nd of December. So we're still in fall, technically. But
fall, the start of fall can vary, right? The start of fall varies based on mainly what the weather's like. But I would say like Labor Day weekend, Labor Day is the last day of summer. Then fall starts. Winter starts on Black Friday. Winter starts the day after Thanksgiving in the US. Winter is the longest season because winter goes until the snow starts to melt about the middle of March-ish. We're like, obviously, we're in hell and the climate keeps getting warmer and warmer. But like, those spring days where you're like, oh, is it like 50 degrees? That's crazy. And like late March-ish, that's when spring starts. And then summer starts when school gets out. So depending on how old you are, it depends on whether you get more or less summer. So if you're a college student, if you're in like my domain, summer starts like beginning, middle of May. If you're not in college and you're younger than that, summer gets shorter and shorter because these goddamn school administrations are like, what if we let the kids out on June 18th? Fuck you. Let them have summer. So that's when the seasons are. So it goes until the 22nd. No, it doesn't. Winter starts the day after Thanksgiving. You heard it here first. Okay.
Geographically, I have to disagree because I think in Texas, or at least in the South, summer is the longest season. And that starts in May and ends in October.
Skill issue.
Honestly. But yeah, Wintingo, I guess we're coining it now since we're going to be holding this bingo in the winter. It's a winter bingo now, not fall bingo.
Nope, it's still fall
Rebranding.
bingo. We are not rebranding.
Oxie!
It's still fall bingo. We already
just
talked
went on
about
this
needing
whole
to do.
thing
Because we had a conversation as admins as needing to do a hard reset. I understand why you're rubbing your temples because I make my funny joke about the seasons and you get all pissed off because you're specific with dates. We are not replacing fall bingo in the community with a December or later based winter event. Yes, funny joke about seasons, but clarification that in future years, the event will continue to be held in the fall because we plan to do a hard reset on our dates at Springo and shoot for early April. None of this mid-May bullshit that we've been doing to actually hold it in the spring, and then we can actually hold an October bingo that doesn't butt up against a league, doesn't butt up against a community event, so we can because the events just kept getting pushed further and further and further. Our first ever fall bingo was mid-September or something like that, way back in the day. So
2020.
Yeah. Just
Crazy.
a clarification difference there.
Well, I'm just saying this event, not moving forward, this event is a winter bingo.
Yes.
And then we can hard reset.
Unfortunately, yes, it is a winter bingo.
The one and only, guys. So if you haven't if you haven't decided if you're going to play in this bingo, do it now because it's going to be the one and only winter bingo that TNL does.
True.
It'd be great. So we had to move our dates. They announced a community event, which I'm excited about. I don't know if I can call it a community event because like on paper, it's just a shortened league. You have points that you get. There's going to be cosmetics. It has accelerated XP. You're in Iron Man. You're on a fresh world. You're in a new world. So like all of that is just leagues.
Well, they never confirmed that we're Iron Man.
They did.
No, they didn't.
Well, I mean, in the picture, they're wearing the Iron Man armor.
They're wearing Iron Man armor in the picture, but there's while I would assume that we are Iron Man, I think it's a correct
I guess you're
assumption.
Right. Has not been confirmed like officially.
Yeah, there's no official confirmation that we are or are not Iron Man. So I don't know. They say Iron Man accounts can participate, which obviously Iron Man accounts can always participate. But whether or not this is going to be more in line of an Iron Man league or like a Dead Man train and trade, which like if that's the case, swap your gold. Like I don't know, swap.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do it that way, just to avoid the swapping thing. Not that swapping is illegal; it just makes the beginning of the game feel bad.
Yeah, because then you're more focused on making money within the first week versus actually progressing your account.
Mm-hmm.
And if some of these tiles require this gear, it's going to be heavily like pay to play, pay to win.
Yeah,
which will suck. I hope it's Iron Man, and I hope they do something about drop rates. I hope that like we don't have to do quests. I hope that everything like it would be cool. Yes, you're on a fresh account, but just give us access to the entire map. If some of these tasks are like get an enhanced crystal seed, but then you have to spend 2 out of the 4 weeks trying to get to Priv. Ugh.
Well, they literally
There's so many questions.
Completing each task will reward you with a juicy boost to your gameplay. This could be in the form of previous player favorite relics, auto completion of whole quest lines, or maybe you can actually grow a bush that spawns T-bows.
Whoa.
Which is a joke.
Okay.
I would hope that's a joke. It'd be funny for a limited time game mode if it wasn't. If they're like, twisted bush, go ahead. You can grow
everybody gets a twisted bow.
You know?
I am excited about it. I don't want to make this sound like ooh bad. It comes out on what, October 15th. So we have about a month before. And I'm calling it now. We're recording this on Sunday. I will call it now. There will be another blog this week. As I'm editing this, as we're posting this, there will have been a blog and we'll know more about this. And like me and Oxie bitching for the last 10 minutes means nothing.
Well, so we're not
knows.
bitching about their event. We're bitching about how it affects our event. And that's not going to come out in their news post because Jagex does not give a shit about our bingo.
Well, sure.
Which is why Michael and I were like, I think Michael last night was like, we could talk about Gridmaster. I'm like, talk about what? The two things they have in the blog, only to then have it be corrected between now and recording release. So let us know in the Xpwaste chat what you guys think of inevitably the blog they came out with this week about Gridmaster. Let us know what you guys think. When you hear this episode, you're like, they're dumb. We know. How do you guys feel about it? Which is why we're not talking about Gridmaster. And honestly, we probably just have to make a hard pivot into main title content, Michael.
Shoo.
Yeah.
Maybe I did a transition there for no reason.
That honestly, that's pretty funny. If you just do like a shake it up, put me on your side, and then just randomly like when I make that little motion like that, pivot us back to the regular. Just play around with the edit a little bit. Have fun as a treat.
Like it.
Have fun for yourself.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So this will be out on Wednesday because I'm having fun.
That's fine. I don't. Yeah. How do you guys feel about releasing episodes early? Let us know.
Last week we got it out on Wednesday morning, and everybody was like, "What is today?"
So it did really
Thursday.
It did really throw some people off. They got the notification. They're like, "Oh shit! What day is it?"
I know, and it's like if you're in the U.S. and you didn't go to work on Monday, it felt like Tuesday then. Like, is this episode came out on Tuesday? Huh? That's how I felt. My whole week was thrown off. I thought Wednesday was Friday. I thought Thursday was Friday. And then on Friday, I was like, surely it's Friday. And it was. So it's weird. Main title content. This is Oxie's brainchild, for a lack of better term. After the Slayer Point rework, we got to thinking like, we have to talk about Slayer. We love Slayer. Both of us were like Slayer fiends.
Man, I love
like
Slayer. Mills.
Yeah.
Man, I love Slayer.
Is that a song reference?
No. It's like MILF, but with Slayer instead.
Oh.
Man, I love Slayer.
Oh, man, I love Slayer. Oh, okay. I get it. So after the Slayer rework, we decided it's time to talk about Slayer. Because I don't think we've ever done like a Slayer guide episode. Have we? This isn't going to be like that. But I don't think we've ever dedicated an entire episode to the topic of Slayer. In the 209 or 8 episodes that we've done. Cannot remember.
I'm sure we have spoken about it quite a bit.
Well, we've spoken about Slayer, but like this one's pretty heavily focused on the skill of Slayer and like stuff that you've never seen before. We're not developers, but we could be. Because I sat on my chair this morning.
Maybe we shouldn't be after this. We'll see.
Oh, dude. These are fire updates. Let me just tell you. So the task that we gave ourselves this week was to come up with new drops for either like underappreciated monsters or just things that we find annoying and need a quality of life update. So these will all technically be from Slayer monsters, but they won't be things that are in the game right now. So this is all theoretical. So if you're listening and like maybe you zoned out and you're like, wait a second. Did they have an update? What just happened? Well, they're talking about this thing that's so cool that I can't find in the wiki. It's not real.
Yeah, none of this stuff is real. Unless, of course, any JMods listening want to make it real. We're going to tell you right now, all these ideas are totally free. Just give us a wiki citation credit later, and then that's all we need, baby. You can have all these ideas and fix them however you like. So this idea came about while listening to the Raids Bank podcast, where if you guys actually haven't listened to them, Heartless Hoyt and Poplo, new Raids Bank podcast. It's newer, maybe 7 or 8 episodes out. It's great content. It's an old school podcast. Those three do a remarkable job. I thought they had sponsors on episode 3 because of their little like end segment. They do like they have like they call it the chest room. They just like talk about things, kind of like how we used to talk about like in our first couple of episodes before we had the fun question, just like what is the thing you like doing this week, back before we yapped incessantly about our lives on the show. I dead ass thought they got sponsors the way they were talking about VPNs. I'm like, wow, there's no way. They are 3 episodes in, they've already got people paying them, but they don't yet, but hopefully they will someday. Great content. But while I was listening to their episode about Summer Sweep Up, I thought to myself, I'm like, why don't these monsters have anything worth doing? there's a weird curve in Slayer where the low level monsters you kill either when you're first starting out or when you're Turiel boosting or Turiel skipping, right? This is crawling hands, cave bugs, banshees, cave slimes. And then once you get to like cockatrice, it kind of just like dips down, right? It dips all the way down until you get to Bloodvelds at level 50. Because you've got everything from Lesser Nagua all the way to cockatrice that really don't have a purpose to kill. I know Vires are in there, but like, do Firewatch Sentinels count for that? And even then, by the time you're doing Sins of the Father, you should have 38 Slayer. I'm sure people are going to make like, oh, but what about Mogres for the cosmetic? What about, Terror Dogs for the Granite Helm and Sulfur Lizards and all this other stuff? Like, yes, there are reasons people kill these things, but not regularly enough, Like, once you get to Bloodvelds, you start getting into like decent XP territory. And then don't get me wrong, there are still some garbage tasks in the 50s that you can get. We always talk about the mid 50s blues where everything just kind of sucks. But once you get to Bloodvelds, it starts to be way more notable of what you get. And I'm like, why aren't things there for like a more mid game, early game centric account? So I pitched to Michael like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, hey, cook up some ideas for things that don't currently exist in Slayer, and let's find ways to implement them into monsters or bosses in some cases that don't have any uniques. So we have got, I think I'm looking on this list right now, we have 5 things. Michael, do you want to kick us off with one of the ones you submitted, or do you want me to kick us off? Which one do you think? It's your episode this week, brother.
No, you could start. We'll just go top down.
All right, we'll go top down. This is what actually sparked the whole conversation, I suppose, because while listening, talking about, Zygomites more or less, I thought to myself, I'm like, why don't they have an item? What's the point? They're on Duradel's Slayer list. What's the point? What's the point of doing a Zygomite? And I thought to myself, what if we added an item like this? The item I'm proposing is the Suspicious Goggles. Suspicious Goggles, which are vaguely based off of the Safety Goggles from Pokemon. It's a competitive held item to get past Amoonguss, because Amoonguss was a terror in Gens 5 and 6 until they, whatever, getting off topic. But the Suspicious Goggles are dropped by regular Zygomites at 1 in 700 or ancient Zygomites at a rate of 1 in 512. And you think, wow, that's a stupid high rate. It requires 57 Slayer to equip the item, because that's the level you need to kill the Zygomites. It offers no offensive or defensive bonuses. It's a net neutral, offers no bonuses for anything, but it grants immunity to both poison and disease after Zogre Flesh Eaters. Total immunity to poison and disease with no benefits. So like no Nezihelm benefits, no range coif benefits, no nothing. The goggles just prevent the poison. And then if you present this, I thought, let's make it like actually worth going for. If you have one Zulrah Casey on the log, and you present this item to the High Priestess in Zolandra, it grants an additional effect. When I'm not sure which one is better, I'm curious, Michael, to hear what you think. Either A, venom damage is halved. So instead of starting at 6 damage, it starts at 3. Instead of ticking up by 2 every 18 seconds, it ticks up by 1. So venom will stack as high as 10 if you're wearing safety goggles. Or it doubles the time between venom splats and when it increases. So currently, venom starts at 6 and goes up by 2 every 18 seconds. If we go with the latter effect, then venom would start at 6 and only increase to 8 after 36 seconds. So it would delay the venom onset, which this item is designed for low-level Iron Zulrah killers. This is a low to mid-level Iron Man item who are trying to go for Zulrah early. This is the point of this item. It's tradable, so if a main account really wants one, they could buy it. I think this item pairs well with the Zygamite sprayer, like the automatic
Ooh, yeah.
Zygamite sprayer. So it gives you a reason to unlock that, which why didn't they nerf the price of that? I think that's what sparked this whole thing about Zygamites should at least have, like, gargoyles have a boss variant and gargoyles shit out GP. Zygamites don't drop anything. They don't have anything on their drop rate that's notable to go for.
Yeah.
The drop rate, their drop table that's notable to go for. And you only get them in batches of like 20 to 30. Why is it 110 points post Slayer rework to automatically spray these things? Like, it just seems like a waste of points.
Yeah.
That it's almost
Agreed.
as expensive as Gargoyle Smasher. So I'm like, you know what? If we don't want to adjust the price on that, let's at least make it worthwhile. So that's where the suspicious goggles come from, or at least the idea for this suspicious goggles.
Nice. I like the second option where it delays the venom, but it's still at full strength.
Mhm.
So you're essentially, it is half strength at that point when you think about it. But it's a better mechanic because you still have to deal with venom. In an average Zulrah kill, it's what, like 3 minutes on a low level Iron Man, 3.5. So
my Zulrah kills are like 5 minutes on my Iron Man.
Damn. So I mean, you are dealing with venom quite a bit, and hopefully you've got some way to like negate it to where you can reset it back down to the lowest where it starts at 6.
Mhm.
So maybe that would just be an easier time. You are curing it half as often, so it doesn't hit those. Like you could take Cure Me and literally just maybe get hit 6s more consistently. 36 seconds seems fine. I don't know, like the start at 3 instead of 6 and ticking up by 1. That seems a little too strong. Is there anywhere else in the game where that would be relevant in the early?
Vorkath.
Vorkath has venom. That's true.
This would be really good for Vorkath.
Hopefully you would have some I don't know, maybe the progression is then you get a Serp, like a Serpentine Visage before you get to Vorkath.
I mean,
Or
potentially.
antivenoms. Do you wear a Serp at Vorkath?
Yeah, 100%
Okay.
you wear a Serp Visage. It potentially, yeah, but I'm just trying to think on the scope of like mid-game Iron Men helping them. Like, if you want to put in the hours to kill 700 regular Zygamites, maybe even higher because they have such low HP. Maybe it's 1 in 1,000 from regular Zygamites. You want to put in the effort to do that, go for it. That's fine. It is going to make your life easier where venom is applicable. Notably, like going for your backpack sucks. It sucks to go for your backpack. It sucks to do early game Zulrah. Other places that have venom, like maybe you really hate yourself and want to do early game hard mode Tob, but this is a bad item to take because it doesn't offer any offensive bonuses. I'm trying to think of other places that apply venom.
There's venom in Toa, the monkey room.
Yeah, I guess.
But it kind of seems silly at this point just to take those for that one instance of venom.
Yeah, it does seem kind of stupid to take those. This is for Vorkath and Zulrah, basically.
Yeah.
It's a low level Iron Man's Vorkath and Zulrah helper. People say I'm not nice to Iron Men. There's some for you. The suspicious goggles.
I was thinking for like unlocking the venom. Yes, 1 KC at Zulrah is a decent way to do it, but I also think maybe trading in Zulrah scales for the ability. You could make the goggles stronger.
Could
if you
charge it
added
with
that.
Zulrah scales.
Oh, you could. Like you could give the priestess potentially could add those charges because like using the scales on like the Zulrah items seems thematic, but these random goggles you got from a Zagamite having like a little slot that Zulrah scales fit in them.
You show them to the priestess, and maybe she like you get like suspicious goggles I or suspicious goggles Z, and you can stick Zulrah scales in them to offer this venom negating effect. That doesn't like you can't be immune to venom.
No.
For an item that's dropped by a 57 Slayer monster, that is fucking ridiculous. You cannot make it immune to venom. Immune to poison, sure, whatever. By the time you get to this point in your Iron Man, you probably have super anti-poisons at minimum. sitting in your bank. So this isn't a huge deal. And disease is honestly so negligible and stupid, but it feels weird to not do it. I mean, I guess not include disease because nobody interacts with disease, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
They could in the future. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe in the future when people are listening to this in like 2028, we have a whole other subset of creatures that deal venom and they're like, "Where's the goggles? We need Oxie's goggles now." Because there's like
it
early game
could.
stuff. So
Like the only other instance I can think of when venom is a pain in the ass is when you're doing a night at the theater. If you're super low level doing a night at the theater, trying to get through the Araxites,
oh yeah.
you do get venomed by those things. This is not helpful when killing Araxites because I believe I know for the big one, you have to kill it on task. Do you have to kill the babies on task?
No. You can kill the ones outside of the little cave entrances off task. So
Oh,
in that little hallway, they're free game, but there's like a mix of them. So they're not like separated. There's big ones, there's little ones.
so you can't kill the big ones off task.
You can't. Well, there's a couple.
The ones that drop the Arania boots.
You can.
Oh,
It's just they're in a room. Because I did that. I got my Arania boots by boosting to 92 Slayer. I didn't have a task for them. But they're mixed in, so there isn't like a specific place where it's good to cannon them because you'd be cannoning the little one.
I think there's the area, like if you walk through, that might be task only. I don't know. But I know Araxor itself is task only. And honestly, having killed almost 800 of it at this point, that's all I really know. I've never really killed the babies. I think maybe one time for a bingo, we had to like get Slayer superiors. Not the items, just like see the superiors. But that was a long time ago.
Would you consider allowing these to be for like a Slayer point like a Slayer point unlock, letting them go into your Slayer helm?
No, because then why would you wear anything else besides the Slayer helm anywhere?
I mean, the Slayer helm is like massively OP as it is.
But that's the thing. Like if you add poison immunity and venom mitigation to the Slayer helm, that seems ridiculous. Like these items are not designed for Slayer. These items aren't designed to at least the safety goggles, anyways. They're not safety goggles. See, this is where I'm getting mixed up with Among Us, which is why they're called suspicious, because sus Among Us. There's just jokes inside of jokes when you deal with
it's the layers, man. It's layers.
All about layers, like an ogre. This item isn't meant to wear during Slayer, because that's why I asked, like, if Araxites are task only, please don't wear suspicious goggles to kill Araxites. Wear your Slayer helmet, right?
Yeah.
If you're killing a monster on task, don't ever wear anything besides your Slayer helmet, right? So I think this is a little too ridiculous to add to the Slayer helmet, because the Slayer helmet is already ridiculous, which is why it doesn't have any offensive or defensive bonuses. It doesn't offer you any perks. It doesn't help with any particular style. It is a functional support item, just like the safety goggles are. The safety goggles were released to mitigate literally one Pokemon's dumbass effects with Rage Powder. That's what it was put in for. And putting this item into OSRS follows that same theme. You're using it for a few specific instances where it doesn't offer much benefit, but the benefit it offers is nice enough to take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Not ridiculous. But unfortunately, no, I can't justify sticking this on the Slayer helmet. I don't know.
Fair enough. I think it would be cool for like 1,000 Slayer points or something crazy. Make it worth it. And then maybe there is a way that you would need to charge it. But if it is pretty strong as it is, so adding it to the Slayer helm wouldn't be kind of crazy. Though not unlikely with how updates have been going, where stuff is just becoming. I mean, you get it, like we talked about at the beginning of the episode. You get a free sword from a quest that rivals the Void Waker. If you said that to me like a year ago, I'd be like, "What the hell? Is this a Grandmaster quest?"
That probably, I don't know if that's an oversight or what, but yeah.
I smell a nerf coming in. But up next, I was combing through the Slayer monsters list, and I'm like, what is something that I personally probably have never killed except for like one task?
And I haven't even read yours yet, so I'm so
really?
curious. No, well, so Michael texted me. He's like, add more Slayer. Like I cooked with some Slayer things. I'm like, oh shit, are we doing that episode? I thought we were saving that for like a fun question or something else. Because last night when we were talking about it, we didn't have any ideas. So I was like, I don't know what we're talking about today. So I was like, I guess we're not doing the Slayer episode. And then Michael today at like 11:30 my time was like, I cooked with Slayer. I'm like, wait a second, you did what? I didn't know that was still on the menu. And then when I finally got a chance to look, the only thing I wrote like 2 words down so I wouldn't forget it on my drive back home, or back to my apartment rather. And I saw the names of what you put down, but I didn't read it. So this is all new to me and new to you, the listener. This is great.
Let's go. Okay. So sulfur lizards and grimy lizards. I don't remember what Slayer level you need, but it's low. They're not insanely high or hard to kill. So for sulfur lizards, it's going to be in the Kulrum dungeon. For grimy lizards, you're going to be in the Napotsli dungeon. Sulfur lizards, you need the boots. There's nothing special to kill the grimy lizards, but that's not the point. My proposal, my idea is for those 2 types of lizards to drop what is called a lizard claw. And when you use the claw on a pestle and mortar, it becomes a stackable paste. Now, ideally, this would drop at a low rate. So I was thinking 1 in 25. So in a given task, maybe you get like 1 or 2 of them if you're lucky. And it would turn into similar to like swamp tar and swamp paste. 1 claw would give you 10 paste. So what do you do with this paste? I was trying to think like, okay, lizards don't have teeth. Maybe they do, but in the picture, sulfur lizards look really gummy. So you don't get like a fang or anything that you can attach to a weapon.
They do kind of look like gummy lizards, don't they?
Yeah,
yeah, that's a great way to describe them. Gummy lizards.
So like you don't get like a fang or a tooth that you can attach to a weapon to like augment it. I don't want to like rip off a tail and have it become armor. So I was like, okay, the claw, maybe they're little toenails or something. You can grind those up, you get a paste. And what do you do with paste? You attach it to an herb, or you use it with an herb. So this is heavily inspired by like Harlander tar, Marentil tar, Guam tar and stuff. And funny enough, those kind of also are like ammunition for a somewhat lizard. But when you have your paste, there's 3 different tiers. And we'll start with the Harlander. So when you combine, I don't know how many paste, maybe 10 paste in 1 clean Harlander, it transforms into weak Harlander paste. Now, I didn't think far enough to say, like, is this something that you just eat? Or is this something you add to a potion? Is this something that you can, like, I don't know. But the benefits of Harlander paste would be it restores 15 run energy, it restores 5 prayer, and it cures poison. So when consumed, you get those benefits. And very easy herb to obtain. If you're stuck in doing Perilous Moons, you get a lot of Harlander anyway, so it's kind of nice. You don't get poisoned there, which it's kind of it's a side benefit, but it cures poison, 15 run energy, and you get 5 prayer points. That's where I started with this. And then I was like, it's got to get better, right? We have so many different tiers of herbs. So with 20 paste, you can attach, or like you can combine that with an irrit. And this would produce strong irrit paste, which cures venom and poison, and it applies a 30-second poison immunity, and then it restores 8 prayer points. So again, it could be a niche thing where like if you don't have access to anti-venoms or anti-poisons, this could be kind of a pseudo thing, but then also giving you the prayer points on top of it. When I'm thinking about this, like the paste is stackable, but when you use it with the herb, it becomes an item. So it kind of just like you're eating the herb itself with a little bit of paste on it. Maybe like a spring roll or something. I don't know. It comes in like a Harlander spring roll. So that's the second tier, strong irrit paste. And then the third one is a superior dwarf weed paste. Now, whether or not you need an herb lore level for these, I don't know, but every one of these requires at least the clean herb itself. So if you're an Iron Man, you would need an herb lore level to be able to clean up to a dwarf weed, which at that point is 70. So let's just call it 70. You need 70 herb lore to make this. It makes the superior dwarf weed paste, which cures venom and poison and adds 1 minute of venom immunity. It gives you 15 prayer points, and it adds a stamina effect that lasts 30 seconds while restoring 30 run energy. So, I mean, these things, while not the strongest, would be kind of nice just to have in your back pocket. They give you a little bit of prayer, so you can potentially you can replace one of your prayer potions with this. It also gives you some run energy. And then if you're in a situation like where this is kind of like inspired by Oxie's goggles, if you needed something to combat Zulrah, you have the superior dwarf weed paste, which adds a 1 minute immunity to venom while restoring your prayer potions. So you take like half an inventory of your dwarf weed paste and then half an inventory of food, and you got yourself covered to kill Zulrah.
So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Paste in OSRS, to my knowledge, is stackable, as it is equipable within the ammo slot. So if it is a proper paste, does this then become the best in slot food?
Well, so the paste you can't eat just on its own, at least in the way I have it written. You would need it to combine it. You need to combine it with an herb, and then it's not stackable anymore. If it's stacked after you've like made it, that would be kind of OP.
But swamp paste and herbs are a stackable component. Irrit tar, Harlander tar are stackable items because you put them in your ammo slot to use as salamanders. So if you're thinking about it in the sense of tar, is it stackable? And that does really determine whether or not, because like the effects are fine. I think the effects are totally fair. I would adjust the levels a little bit. I think the effects are totally fine. Cure venom, cure poison, restore prayer. It's a neat little, it's like a side grade, like those butterflies and shit. Great for some Iron Man accounts. If they are stackable, this could like derail like some supply costs. Because just imagine, like, it's essentially a stackable prayer potion is the problem.
Yeah.
Venom and poison aren't the issue.
So like the end result in my mind isn't stackable, but you're right. You do have the tars, which it is very different from the tar. Yes, you're using a paste and an herb together. That's the only similarity. But at the end of the day, like when you have, say you have a full inventory of Harlanders and you have, 200 something paste stacked up, the paste will go down, but the herbs will stay in place and it'll just like convert it to a new item. Maybe the names change to something else, but sitting on my Papasan chair at 10:30 this morning, these are the best names I could come up with. But this got the juices going.
Don't get me wrong, the juices are good. Maybe it's a new secondary. Because like when I think of a claw, I think of like a keratin chitinous material. You don't get a paste when you grind that up. You get a dust.
Oh.
So you get a lizard's claw dust or a stack of lizard's claw dust and combine them with Harlander, Irrit, or dwarfweed potions.
Oh.
And then it becomes this kind of like weird niche catch-all. I feel like for dwarfweed potions, you kind of have to buff the shit out of it to make it worth using, unless you want to just release it. But I feel like the low-level ones of like cures venom, cures poison, offers very limited immunity resistance, and gives you like 3 prayer points as like a you tried award like that. I think that seems, because like they have herb lore levels attached to them anyways.
Yeah.
Because tar is weird. Like herb tar, I was looking while you were talking. Harlander tar is unlocked at level like 44.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
wow.
you can clean Harlanders at level 20. Harlander tar is unlocked at level 44. Irrits you can clean at 40. They unlock at 55. And I think Irrit tar is the highest it goes. So there's like a weird precedent of like a dwarfweed tar would theoretically be like a level 85, 86 agility or agility herblore unlock. There's a slot at 83. There's nothing at 83 herblore. So, but I think if you went the tar, but like that's the tar route, right?
Yeah.
Like if you went and the tar route, I think becomes problematic because that's a stackable prayer potion.
Yeah, we don't want to stack this.
Yeah.
No, I like the dust.
Yeah.
I like the dust idea because it could have a third component to make balancing to address balancing, because they aren't like a thing that gives you prayer. Renar is the prayer herb. So maybe there's a secondary like Renar paste that when you have a Renar potion,
right?
Snapdragons too. Yeah. Maybe there's a way that you have to like combine a Renar, Snapdragon, or like maybe Snapegrass. You have to combine that with these to add that little prayer.
Maybe you say that it's not the herb itself, that it's the secondary that gives it its divine attributes. Because if my option is use a Renar on a prayer pot or use it on one of these like dust pots, I'm probably going to use it on a prayer pot. I'm probably going to get more use out of it on my iron if it's a prayer pot.
Yeah.
But if you add another secondary component or like, I don't know. Maybe you just say like fuck it. We live in a world with magic and a lot of things to restore your prayer. Maybe it has nothing to do with the item at all. Maybe the thing that gives you back your divine confidence with your prayer potions are the fact that the lizards come from a weird spot. Like lizards in Napotzli have a weird magical imbue to them because Napotzli is kind of weird, and same thing with like the Carolum Slayer dungeon. It's kind of weird, so like maybe that's why they have that effect. You know?
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, let's retroactively go back, change this. It's a dust, and you put it in a potion vial. So then, hey, there's nothing to people to complain about because it's never going to stack if it's in a potion vial. And you bring up a good point. A Renar unfinished is not a prayer potion until you add a Snapegrass. So it's the Snapegrass.
It could also be a fishing potion. Who knows?
Makes it. I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can make a Renar. You can waste your Renars and make a fishing potion if you want. Do you want me to go do my next one, or do you want to sneak one in?
I mean, I'll do my next one because it's not nearly as interesting, I don't think. On the way home, I had thought about like, oh yeah, for my recap, I'm going to talk about Araxor, talk about the Nid pet, and then talk about the fact that I might go for every bug in the game. But I don't want to do Calphite Queen, not because Calphite Queen is hard. I mean, I have a shadow and one of those sticks, like the blue Karis. Like Calphite Queen's a joke, but getting to Calphite Queen sucks.
Yeah.
So what I thought of was a Calphite teleport. It's unoriginal. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a little giveaway. It's a Calphite lair teleport. Different than the Calphite cave that you teleport to with your desert amulet. That one is just if you're trying to like machine gun a Slayer task, right? This Calphite lair teleport is designed with people killing KQ in mind. Like you don't use this teleport if you're not trying to kill KQ, because this teleport sends you. This is where I get a little like with it, a little stinky, crusty with it. You can't invalidate the shortcut,
right?
As much as I would love to drop you right by that little like skip the whole run and drop you right in front of the area where you can peek at the Calphite Queen lair, you can't do that because then there's no point in doing the Elite Diary and people would get all pissed off. Unless they changed that. I don't think they did. Off the top of my head, I don't know if they changed it.
It's still Elite.
Yeah, so it's still the Elite. Like you need to do it for the Elite Diary. So I'm thinking if it drops you basically right in front of the shortcut on the other side, you know where you go down the rope and the shortcut is right there.
Yeah.
If it drops you right in front of where that shortcut is down the rope, then you can save a couple ticks with the fairy ring. You don't have to worry about traveling there. If you don't have the Lumbridge Elite Diary, you don't have to take your Staff of Shame with you to kill Calphite Queen. You don't have to take any ropes with you if you don't have any of the diaries done. You still have to make the egregious run if you haven't done the work for the Elite Diary, but for pet hunters who have the Elite Diary done, this is an end game. Funny enough, this is an end game item. Was where I'm thinking about this from. Like what's a board max main gonna do? They're gonna go for pets, and the Calphite Queen being one of them. It just makes it a little bit more convenient to get to KQ because the shortcut is great.
Yeah.
And if you have the
Yeah.
Elite Diary, if you're already a maxed main, presumably you do, you teleport right there, you take the shortcut, you go down to the lair, boom, you're good. You're good to go. But it just poses a problem if you put it anywhere else because of that Elite Diary reward. So this item, the Calphite Teleport, teleports you to the Calphite lair in the desert. It's dropped by workers, the little baby shitters at a rate of 1 in 200. The soldiers at a rate of 1 in 100, which are kind of like the medium-sized guys. And then the Guardians at a rate of 1 in 50, as well as Calphite Queen herself at a rate of 1 in 30. I kind of picture this like whatever rate you get Araxite Cave teleports, about the same rate. So that's what I have in mind about the rate that you get Araxite Cave teleports. They're stackable, just like any other teleport scroll. They're storable within the scroll box, just like any other teleport scroll. And they're tradable, just like any other teleport scroll. Because I think it is a crime that Keymaster teleports are not tradable.
I thought they changed that. Did they not?
Let
me
Recording
see.
booth, did they change that? I don't know if they changed that. If
You can buy them on the GE.
Can you?
Yeah, if you do the item lookup, they're 40K.
No shit. Well, it was a crime that they weren't tradable, but I suppose they have absolved themselves of their sins. Because I believe all consumable teleports should be tradable in some way, right?
Yeah.
Whether or not the actual item itself is tradable, like the giant soul amulet or the pendant of ATs, like those don't have to be tradable. Make it a little like 20 kill grind, like the fucking tablet from Chambers, like. That's fine. That's a fun aspirational strive. The tablets from the DT2 bosses. But the charges should always be tradable. And if it's a consumable scroll, should be tradable no matter what out of the gate. So cool. That's the Calphite teleport. And I thought, like, yes, I know you're probably going to get a bulk of these going for the pet from KQ. But at a rate of 1 in 200, you're going to get these from the little workers while doing Calphite tasks. I learned today, speaking of shouting out another podcast that isn't ours, while listening to the Raids Bag podcast, I learned that if you block Calphites from Turiel, he will allow you to skip them if you get assigned them from Neve or Duradel because he does not recognize them as one of his tasks. Because Calphites are I believe they're the only task prior to this update that is assignable by a high-level Slayer Master that is also assignable by Turiel, and Turiel cannot skip tasks that he assigns.
Whoa.
So
what do you do? Like
Calphites.
Yeah, if you got Calphites.
If you got Calphites, let's say you're going for an Inferno task, and you got Calphites from Neve, right? And you're Turiel skipping to get an Inferno task. If Neve gives you 150 Calphites, and you talk to Turiel, and he's like, and you're like, hey, block my task, he'll go, no.
Oh.
He'll just tell you no because he assigns Calphites. And you only run into that problem with Calphites.
I see.
Because like Duradel, Neve, Konar, they don't assign cows and bears and wolves and shit. They don't do that. So it's literally it's been a plague. It's why people who hunt for Zuck tasks block Calphites.
Gotcha.
At least I think.
Yeah.
At least I think that's one of their blocks because you can't skip them with Turiel.
I see.
So now, let's say you don't have that blocked. I'm going to go change mine to block from Turiel now because it's going to be great for bingos to be able to skip Calphites. That's going to be huge. But let's say you don't have that set up or you don't have enough points to get that block or you just honestly don't really mind killing Calphites because they're cannonable and they're super quick. Ideally, for a Calphite task, killing the babies, which is what most people do, on average, you're going to get about 1 per task. 1 every other task. I mean, not really. If you get them, like they're 1 in 30 from KQ, like OSRS Araxor is what I want to look up because that's like Araxor is the model, right? For the teleport scrolls. The Spider Cave teleport scrolls are 1 in 15 from Araxor. No, they only come from the boss. So we probably could make it a little bit more generous But
Yeah.
I see like why we wouldn't have to if they're dropped from the babies too, because you could just machine gun the babies and get a couple teleports. And maybe they drop just like Spider Cave teleports in clusters of 3, right? Because Keymasters drop in clusters of 3. I think Zolandra teleports drop in groups of 4. That would be, yeah.
Yeah, I could see like 1 in 10 from Calfight Queen. It's 30. It seems a little high when the next
maybe it's 1 in 20,
variant,
maybe it's 1 in 16. Just like it's a KQ's a lower drop rate, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe you just get more teleports. Maybe you get like 6. It's 1 in 30. You get 6 or 7 teleport scrolls. The drop rate I'm not as concerned about from KQ. It's the item that gets you to KQ quicker.
I like it. I think this would be a welcome addition, honestly. It's one of those bosses that has kind of been overlooked when it comes to the egregious long haul to get there. Like I'm trying to think, besides like Nightmare and Fazani's Nightmare, is there other bosses that are just like the walk there is egregiously long? I don't know. In other ones that are, we have teleports. Like to get to Araxor, you have a teleport built in.
So KQ does have a teleport nearby. You can teleport near the Calfight Hive with the fairy ring.
Yeah.
And there is a shortcut to get to Calfight Queen. It's not the most accessible shortcut in the world. It's not like Calfight Queen has been totally neglected. Like, I think Nightmare, the only other one I can really think of that like is a pain in the ass is technically God War's Dungeon.
That did come to mind.
They mitigated some of that with the Gommel's Hilt. Like, you still got to run through and get all the KC and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think God War's Dungeon is designed to be there forever. You don't take a lot of damage on purpose. I don't know what other
bank if you really wanted to.
Yeah, if you have a Zaros item, you can next bank and make it super easy. So, like, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, it does have the shortcut. So it's not like KQ has been totally neglected. But the shortcut just sucks. It's locked behind like at minimum 91 fletching and also killing KQ sometimes pretty spooned, but like up to 256 times without the shortcut. I think I got my first head at like 180 or 190.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, I hate this boss so much. Like I hate this boss and I'm in a groove. And I'm so close to the pity head that I'm going to keep it for the Slayer helm. And I did. So I used the tattered head for the diary, and I have a KQ head sitting in my bank for the day that I get all the Slayer helms unlocked. So
very nice. Well, I think it's my turn now.
It is, yeah. My last 2 that I made are kind of short and sweet to the point. Yours seem like it's a little. I'm interested to see this one.
So this is the one I'm probably the most proud of the 2 that I designed.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I was looking at the Slayer list, and a lot of things drop stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's a plethora of monsters that drop like mystic pieces, and that's kind of their niche. Sulfur lizards, funny enough, and grimy lizards drop a mystic piece, but that's besides the point. Bloodvelds really are just like, you either cannon them and get them done, or you sit in the catacombs with your Venator bow. You know what I mean? Like there's
it's like it's almost like their purpose at this point in the game is XP.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to Sins of the Father, like if you don't have Sins of the Father done, they're not even that good of XP because they take fucking forever to kill.
Yeah, with the Venator bow, I've seen people do it pretty quickly because you just stack them all up in the same area, and the bow bounces around. So it's like a mini cannon in that sense. But if you don't have a Venator bow, yeah, they take forever. So to give them some sort of like chase item, we're calling this the Bloodveld Tongue. So it's going to be dropped at a rate of 1 in 512 for regular Bloodvelds. And then if you get a Bloodveld Superior, it's dropped at a rate in 1 in 25. Now, I put on here, subject to balancing if you're killing the mutated Bloodvelds. I think it should be more common with the mutated Bloodvelds, but I didn't want to get into the weeds. Like, there's a different drop rate for the mutated ones in the catacombs than if you're just killing the regular ones, like in the laboratory or maybe even in the wilderness. So 1 in 512 seems fine for how strong this item is. So once you receive a Bloodveld tongue, you'll speak to an NPC in Darkmire named Frankulus. And if you offer him the tongue, he will also ask for 100 vile ashes, and those can be noted. And he'll imbue the tongue with magical energy. So this creates what I was calling an ash-covered tongue. Not the most creative thing. Maybe Oxie can help me out. But what this does is when you use the ash-covered tongue on a Slayer Staff, you get a new Slayer Staff. It's called the Slayer Staff I. And right now we have the Slayer Staff and the Slayer Staff E. This is the I. And what this will do is it'll give the staff 1,000 charges, and it becomes a charged staff that shoots a typeless magic attack that when used to kill creatures you're assigned to kill, it consumes 1 charge, and it offers a healing benefit. Now, stats-wise, I said that this is close to or the same stats as the Slayer Staff E. That is also subject to balancing. I'm not great with this has 16 magic attack and 4% magic bonus. I don't know. It's the Slayer Staff E seemed fine because it's much stronger whenever you're killing things that you're assigned to kill. So this really is like a Slayer weapon. But the cool thing is you get that healing effect. So if you damage a monster for say like a 15 or a 20, there's a random chance, just like the saying, that you'll get healed for the damage dealt. And so you have 1,000 charges. You don't have to take runes. And the cool thing is with this item is every time you add another tongue, it gives you another 1,000 charges. Oh, I forgot to mention, when you have the tongue and you have the staff, you also need 10 vials of blood. So that's kind of where the blood healing effect comes in. It's also charged with vials of blood. I don't know if 10 is a lot or 10 is not a lot, but they're probably not that expensive. If you're on an Iron Man, they're probably not that hard to get off of doing raids. You can get them on entry modes. I don't interact with Bloods of Vial very much.
I was gonna say
I've never had a scythe.
I can tell that you don't use these very much. Vials of Blood only have 1 drop location, which is something I did think about proposing. That maybe that comes out with Vampirium. I thought about putting that on the list of maybe there's a new form of gargoyle, kind of like how we have mutated Bloodvelds or repugnant specters or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not repugnant, abhorrent is the term. Repugnance is superior. We have I don't know, a vampiric gargoyle or some other a limestone gargoyle that has a 1 in 50 chance to drop 10 vials of blood.
Ooh.
And let that come out with Vampirium just to let people passively get vials of blood outside of Theater of Blood. But if the only thing you use vials of blood for is to charge the scythe, it doesn't really matter that much.
So maybe 10 is too much. I don't know. I just want to add vials of blood somewhere. So vials of blood, you have to have the set amount in your inventory, your ash covered tongue, and the Slayer Staff. And when you use those items together, it gives you the Slayer Staff I. And then if you for somehow forget to charge it back up and you use all the charges, you have to use a vial of blood on the staff to cover it in blood, and then you can imbue it with another tongue, and it gives you another 1,000 charges. But every tongue that you use on the staff with your vials of blood, it gives you another 1,000. I don't know what the Slayer Staff or I don't know what a good max would be, but maybe 5,000, maybe 2,000, maybe 2 tongues at a time. But this seems cool to me. I try to model it after the Bloodveld itself, because the Bloodveld does do a typeless attack, I think. But you pray melee.
It's a magical based melee attack.
Magical based melee.
It's a pain in the ass. So Bloodvelds are weird. I'm not even gonna try to pretend I know. Bloodvelds are weird.
What do you think?
I think the vials of blood are out of place. And what I like the idea, because I like giving Bloodvelds something to actually be worth it. I think we're asking for too many ingredients. 100 vile ashes and a tongue and vials of blood and a Slayer Staff and all this other shit. Does this work like the salve where it can be Slayer Staff EI?
Oh, that would make it pretty. That would make it pretty OP. Yeah, maybe.
Well,
maybe you need the Slayer Staff E. to make
Well,
it
like the Slayer Staff E, it's an upgraded version. You use the Slayer enchantment on it. Upon enchanting the staff, it becomes untradeable, gains 2,500 charges, revert back to a regular Slayer staff. It increases the damage dealt by magic dart when attacking the Slayer monster. So it's just the one spell. Like, I guess with this like type of staff, if we're going for a healing effect, are we just sticking, like, are we increasing the magic damage of magic dart and adding a healing proc to it?
Oh,
Or are we
you could.
making this a whole new spell? And if it's a whole new spell, like a powered staff, where does it sit in the realm of other powered staves? And if it only works on task, I think it's fine. I think only
Yeah.
getting the healing effect on task, or it's unable to hit monsters that aren't on task, is a double-edged sword. I think it does become a double-edged sword because, like, you get a Zulrah boss task. Really good.
Yeah.
Pre-staff, pre-Eye of Ayak. Depending on what strength level it is. Like, even if it's like Warped Scepter level, if it heals you, that's pretty decent for a low-level account. If you're an Iron Man who doesn't have a Thammaron Scepter and you have a Bear's task, this is pretty good at Callisto. If it heals you. Not that you need a ton of healing in Callisto, but like if you're doing RDO, maybe, because people use the blood bark at RDO, could be decent. I'm trying to think of like other Slayer tasks that utilize magic. I like it. I think we're asking for a lot. Especially given like I know entry mode drops vials of blood. I still think asking for like, hey, this is a 55 Slayer item, go do Theater of Blood. Like, that seems like a lot. That's the vials of blood are really what throws me off. The ashes, I think, is fine. It's thematic. Ash covered tongue. It's magic. You use it with something. I don't know. Maybe we take a different route, and this is like its own little like mini imbued heart.
Ooh.
Instead of just boosting damage to Slayer creatures, it's like it's got 100 charges as a heart that offers like +5 magic, maybe, or maybe you lick the tongue and you get, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of like
you lick all the ashes off of it.
I don't hate it. I like the idea. I like that. Like, you get it from a Bloodfeld. You have to use other Bloodfeld drops with the Vial Ashes. I think including the Slayer Staff is really good. Vials of Blood are really like, because you don't even need Vials of Blood for a Sank Staff. You just need blood runes.
Oh, that's
true. You
could
replace it. You could replace it with blood runes.
You could,
but even
that
then,
would make it thematic with it being a magic item.
Yeah, it would. I think at that point,
I mean, you could give it like 10 charges per blood rune you add. So if you put 100 blood runes in there, it's 1,000 charges. It could, like, that as a way to get rid of the vial of blood.
Maybe you just stick the tongue, or like, I'm looking at the Slayer Staff right now, or the Slayer Staff E. Like, I picture this staff just like wrapped in a tongue.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because I was trying to think of
staff
ways
wrapped in a like, picture that staff like with a tongue wrapped around the end, or like a tongue wrapped around the middle, and then you use the Vial Ashes to charge it. Because I feel like, get a tongue, then get the ashes, then get either blood runes or vial of blood, then get the Slayer Staff, then get the Slayer Staff E, just for it to have a effect that has to be worse than the Sang Staff. Like, that's the unfortunate reality, is you can't have it at Sang Staff level healing. And I think Sang Staff is like 10% chance to heal up to 50% of the damage you dealt or something.
Oh, is it that
so
low?
This would, it's not 100% of what you hit. The Sang Staff doesn't heal you for 40s, I'll tell you that. Like, I think it might even be like, I think it's like a 1 in 6 chance to heal 10% or something like that. Because like, we did the math a little while ago on one of the episodes, we talked about it. It's like 18% healing or something like that throughout a fight. Like, you heal 18% of the damage you do, or something along those lines. So it would have to be less, up to potentially like substantially less than a Sang Staff.
Well, I do want to lock in that the staff can only be used on task.
Yeah.
I guess you
I
could
like
use it
that.
off task, but then you wouldn't have like the benefits of the increased, just like on the staff E, it wouldn't be an increase to damage for off task monsters, and then it wouldn't heal you for off task monsters, because it's like it's getting its energy from the task you're assigned to. That's why I put it on a Slayer staff and not like just a magic staff. Because I was looking through the staffs too, and I was like, I mean, the magic staff doesn't have a use. You could put it on a battle staff, but that's kind of boring. You know, a lot of stuff uses the battle staff, and I don't know, like the I feel like the Slayer staff is very underutilized. So I like the idea though of charging it with the ashes, because then if you're doing a blood velvet task and maybe you're using this, every ash that drops on the ground is just another couple charges that you can put back into the staff. And they also drop blood runes, so maybe it's like a combination that you keep having to like sprinkle ashes on the tongue to keep it magical or something. Lick it. You should lick it off. Though you were cooking with the imbued heart light. It's the imbued tongue.
Yeah, there's just like nothing. Like magic potions fucking suck.
Yeah.
And the imbued heart is an absurd item to go for. What is it even like? What does the imbued heart boost your magic by? So at 99, it boosts it by 10.
Is that with the
imbued heart?
Is the saturated heart do more, or is the saturated heart just
The
longer?
saturated heart just turns it into a divine.
Oh, okay.
Where it lasts, because right now
that.
there is a 7-minute cooldown with the regular imbued heart. The saturated heart brings that down to 5. And unlike the imbued heart, like the imbued heart acts like a regular potion.
Oh, it ticks
where
down.
It ticks down every minute. So you're still boosted by the time it's time to use another imbued heart sip. But saturated heart, it's like a divine. So you just get the plus 10 boost for 5 minutes. And then it goes away, which also sucks because you can't re-heart, can't sniff your heart again. So like maybe the blood veil tongue works similarly, but again, it can't be better than the imbued heart. It has to be like at level
Slightly
99,
worse.
it boosts you by like 6, but even then, is it worth it? Who knows?
It seems like a lot.
You have to figure something out. You'd have to do a little bit of cooking for an item like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, just use the tongue, Jagex. Give us a blood veil tongue that allows us to do something with it. But that's my last one. I want to know what a TNSD is.
Oh, I was just too lazy to write it out. So this is the last one, the last item.
Oh, I get it now.
That we have proposed, and it's a fun end game cosmetic, because you know what we need more of in this game? Cosmetics. It's not even end game, it's just as a high Slayer level requirement. The radioactive sack, dropped by the thermonuclear smoke devil at 1 in 100. The radioactive sack is a cosmetic override for the Slayer helmet that you need after spending 1,000 points on the hazmat gear reward. Just like the King Black Bonnet or whatever, you have to spend the 1,000 Slayer points to get it and use the head on it. So once you get the hazmat suit unlock, or the hazmat gear unlock, you can trade this radioactive sack in and make your Slayer helmet look like the head of the thermonuclear smoke devil. So that would be the reference image, where the front of the helmet, you would keep the eyes would turn yellow, and you would keep the helmet, you would put the 4 horns on top, the 2 horns on the side, and then the mouth, instead of looking like the basic kind of like breather, just have it be this like weird little, Dune popcorn bucket hole at the front. It's dorky looking. It's dorky as shit. But I'm sure somebody would appreciate that. Like, Thermi is somebody's favorite boss. Yeah. I know so many people who have killed Thermi thousands of times for the pet or the jar, or just because they like it. Like, Thermi's a very easy boss to kill. And being a high-level Slayer monster, it deserves a high-level reward. Because if we look, Hydra has a head, Araxor has a head, Abyssal Demons have a head, King Black Dragon has a head. That's about it. Let's fill it out. Let's get KQ has a head, but she's not explicitly. Neither is KBD, I suppose. Neither is Vorkath. Like, give us a. Cerberus is tough because Cerberus has 3 heads, and that looks really stupid to put 3 Slayer heads on there. Then you got people wearing dog masks around. It's a whole thing. But like, yeah, the radioactive sack, or like something that produces gas. Like that's like the sack is the first thing I thought of. But like, there's got to be some other anatomy that produces gas inside of creatures. Maybe like people who study birds would know that, or maybe like a swim bladder type deal, something that produces a radioactive gas because it's the thermonuclear smoke devil. We're just playing on that nuclear theme pretty heavily, and let that be the point.
It does have a lot of claw looking things, so you could say like one of its claws break off, the radioactive claw.
Yeah, you could. Something like that. Radioactive sucking hole that it has. Or maybe that's the eye. I don't know. Maybe that thing is supposed to be the eye of the thermonuclear smoke devil. I have no idea. I've always seen it as like a sucking hole because it seems like that's where they shoot you out of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a Thermi Slayer helmet. That's the last item. Very basic. Like very, very basic. But we love a little cosmetic, and it's hard to talk about Slayer without a Slayer helmet thing. So yeah, those are our ideas. Those are our 5 ideas. The suspicious goggles, the lizard claw dust or claw paste. Yeah. We're not sure. The lizard claw, the blood-veld tongue, the calphite teleport, and the radioactive sack, or whatever item we decide to snap off of the thermonuclear smoke devil. The radioactive sucking hole. I don't know. We're going to ride that one out.
I like these a lot. I hope that somebody who has influence at Jagex is listening, and this could be like maybe this is a game jam thing that you guys do. You take one of these and just pop it in the game.
Could be fun.
All of it is free. Remember, all of it is free. All we need is a wiki citation to this episode saying that you used it as inspiration.
That's not even Jagex who would do that. That's the wiki team, because we do have a wiki citation. In case you guys did not know, we are kind of pretty famous and pretty awesome. We do have a wiki citation on the Riveting Tale quest page, thanks to Mod Rice. So technically, it's not even us. It's Mod Rice who's quoted as saying that, but still weird. Like, our name is on there too. You know
what's actually kind of crazy? I think Woloznik was the one that did that, who added it to the wiki, and Woloznik is in the recording booth right now.
What a man!
Let's go.
What a man!
Am I right in saying that, Woloznik? Can you confirm for me so I don't look like an idiot? Yes!
What a man.
Let's go.
What a man.
That's fun. So it would be Woloznik. So thank you, Woloznik, for adding our wiki citation when they add this to the game. Well, cool. If you have any ideas of cool Slayer items or Slayer-themed drops or additions, let us know in the Xpwaste chat and Discord or in the comments of the video. It's not going to be the community question, which is great, but we still want to know. Has this got your creative juices flowing? Do you like our ideas? Do you think they're dog shit? Let us know. And we can cook some more. And maybe we'll have like a Slayer items part 2. If you guys think of some really good ones, like a community
Slayer tier list.
Yeah.
Submit your items and we'll put them in the tier, because you guys know we love our tier lists around here.
We are the Xpwaste tier list podcast. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for this first half of the episode. Unless Oxie has anything else he wants to talk about.
I do not. We are buttoned up against that time wall. So
yeah, we got to go. So listen to this commercial and we'll be right back.
Good evening, adventurer. You come here seeking knowledge and power, no? Then perhaps you're brave enough to enter my evil lair. For those of you...
David, honey, who you talking to down there?
What? No, Mom, I'm trying to shoot a movie.
Oh, okay, honey, have fun.
Now where were we? For those of you who dare enter this hell, you may find the power you seek. But of course, such power comes at a price. You must...
David, honey, what do you want for dinner? I got leftover lasagna or dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Dinosaur chicken nuggets, please. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Okay, evil. I am evil. Okay, we can do this. To obtain that which you desire, you must take the life of another. But you adventurers are all the same, and your bloodlust is rarely sated after just one. However, there is not reward without risk. You must...
David, honey!
Oh, I swear to Zamorak. What, Mom?
Would you like ranch or honey mustard with your nuggets?
Do we have any hot sauce?
Yeah, I got hot sauce. You want hot sauce?
Yes, please. Thank you, Mom.
Of course, dear.
Okay, let's just get this over with. However, there is no reward without risk. For you must endanger the life of your closest companion in order to fulfill your desires for knowledge and power. If this is a chance you're willing to take, then I invite all of you to venture to my corner of hell, if you dare.
David, honey, if you're gonna have friends over, I'm gonna need to make more chicken nuggets.
Mom!
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know that I sure did. We're back here now for a quick segment about our patrons. So I want to give a shout out quickly to our first tier that we shout out, and that is the Wise Old Man tier. A Spooky Skeleton is our newest Wise Old Man patron this week. Thank you
What
so
a
much,
guy.
A Spooky Skeleton. Appreciate you. I saw you did join the Discord, so that's great. So maybe we'll see you one day in the recording booth. And on screen now is the rest of our Wise Old Man patrons. As I was editing the podcast last week, I did confirm that Oxie never thanked you guys. Never, not once. He just like, hey, you're on screen. Moving on. So thank you to our Wise Old Man patrons. You guys are amazing. You guys can't see Oxie right now, but he's just like being smug about it. I don't know what you guys did to piss him off. You're my favorite tier. You are my favorite tier. You're also my favorite NPC. So thank you so much to the Wise Old Man patrons. You are all beautiful. You're all wonderful. I hope you have a great week after you listen to this episode and a great weekend. So that is the Wise Old Man tier. Thank you so much again. Moving on now to the KBD tier. It's another tier that we shout out each and every week. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much to the KBD tier. You guys are amazing. You also have access to the recording booth, which is great because we love seeing your faces here. We have our third favorite Patreon supporter in the booth right now, actually. But we'll get to that here in just a second in our shout outs, which I'm going to do right now. So big thank you and big shout out to Fly, Six Sticks Insider, Brooke70, Oxie's dad, my dad, all of our dad, hello, Cloud Kicker, Crash Out Jack, who needs to change his name at this point, Elite Oreo Dunker, Kieran, our third favorite Patreon supporter, Ralph, Run Metal 15, Ryan M, Rylithian, Sparky Life, and the Big G Jordy. Thank you again to all of our KBD patrons for your dedicated support to the show. We appreciate you so very much. And the last tier that we are going to shout out today is the Jad tier, or the Big Bad Jad tiers, as Oxie likes to call them. They are the big bad, they are the Jads, and they are big and bad. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your merch. I've only seen like 1 or 2 pictures of the shirts as they've come out. So if you are in the Jad tier and you're listening to this right now, and you've received your shirts, post a picture or DM me, DM Oxie, one of us. Let us know what you think. We need feedback on them. That would be great. And I just want to see them because we don't actually get the shirts. Oxie and I could subscribe to our own Patreon to get the merch, which would be kind of funny because the money would just go back to us, but we don't. So we don't get to see them. That's not the point. I'm here to shout you guys out. So shouting out the Jad tier, big thank you and big appreciation to Flood Day, Kyrandia, Mithril Fork, Petite River, Rains Falls Red, Soggy Waffles, the S tier Deviled Egg, Wolaznik, and you can't censor the bot Saradomin 992666. That's an interesting name there, Mr. Oxie's lovely guy.
He's changed his name. What a guy.
You can't censor the bot Saradomin 992666. So that is our Jad tier, guys. Thank you so much. And if you would like to join our Patreon, you can do so by heading on over to patreon.com/Xpwaste. We have a lot of different tiers available for you there if you'd like to join. And you get access to a bunch of content if you join at least at the Party Peak tier, which is great. So, and you get to hang out with us. Who wouldn't want to do that? That is it for Patreon. Moving on now to our community question, where we ask you, what is your least favorite quest and how would you make it better? So I'm hoping that we have some answers here on Spotify. That's where we're going to start with Jack. They said, Bon Voyage is the worst quest of all time. That putrid interface when you have to sail the goddamn boat to Fossil Island is the single worst game mechanic I've ever seen in any game. That is so true. And that should have been on our quest tier list. I forgot completely about Bon Voyage. They didn't give us a way to fix it. So maybe once sailing comes out, that they will actually fix Bon Voyage and you can actually sail to Fossil Island as a mechanic in the quest. That would be cool. Next up, Rummy Tumbles says, I have two contenders for the worst quest, but it's for the same reason. Both Giant Dwarf and Fairy Tale series have got some splaining to do. The quests themselves are fine. My beef is in the wasted potential of unlocking Xanaris and Keldegrim. Both feel like glorified transit stations with one or two things to do each. I think both quest lines deserve justice and follow quests for closure and buffs to make their respective areas feel alive beyond the blast furnace and a mid-level Slayer Master. I hella agree. Like, the fact that you mentioned Keldegrim being just like a transit station, I walk through Keldegrim sometimes to do like a master clue step. I'm like, why am I like, this place is so vast and so like there's so much potential. You do a couple quests and then you leave and you almost never come back. Or you're only there to blast furnace teleport to go to blast furnace. Mm-hmm. So it could be a good one. And finally on Spotify, Alex says, honestly, like Michael said, you guys are cooking with Rag and Bone Man 3. I think it would be awesome. The rewards would have to be awesome for it to have the bone sack allow you to put X amount of bones in it. But it can be upgraded like the Avias to hold more. People like your idea for Rag and Bone Man 3. I think a lot of the comments that we did get that I didn't get to read are talking about how, yes, Rag and Bone Man, fuck that quest, but the fact that you could have the potential for a really cool follow-up could make a lot of sense. That's it on Spotify. It's kind of light over there, which is fine. There is a lot of chatter. I think we have 18 total comments, but like more and more these days, the Spotify comments are becoming like a way to like communicate about the episode and not necessarily just to answer the community question. So I think that's great. I'm so glad that you guys are commenting on Spotify. It just makes it a little bit harder for me to like sift through and find the ones that actually relate to the community question. But I mean, like 3 or 4 out of 18, that means that you guys are like really, it's not about the community question anymore, which is cool. So moving on over to YouTube though, where we asked you guys the same question. What's your least favorite quest and how would you make it better? We got a couple replies here. Saradomin 992 says, I'm sorry, this comment is going to be controversial. And he puts in parentheses to says, sorry, Oxie. Says, I have 2 quests that I think are the worst. Icthlarians. Icthlarians? Ictharlin's Little Helper. It's bad because it's the only name I can't pronounce. And he said, how long did it take Michael to pronounce that on the show? Oh my gosh.
Wait a second. No, he didn't. Send the link to the YouTube video in the chat.
My gosh.
That's actually the funniest response in the world.
He
typed out Ictharlin and in parentheses put, how long did it take Michael to pronounce that? That might be, sir, The funniest response I have seen since Fizzman corrected Mike. That is absolutely incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, where do you see this? Am I stupid?
It's in the pin comment on the
Yeah.
It's the first one. You look at the replies on the pin comment.
Oh, it's from that's the only one I can't pronounce. There, Doman. What a guy. That's a heater.
That's hilarious, actually. But he says, but for real, my least favorite, again, sorry, Oxie, is The Night at the Theater. Why the hell do we need to complete what is absolutely one of the top 5 most difficult pieces of content in the game? Even on entry mode, it's difficult, or maybe I'm terrible at the game. Just to get a quest cape. Easy fix, slide this down into the mini quest category.
It was a mini quest when it first came out.
Yeah.
It absolutely was a mini quest when it first came out. The original theater, Night at the Theater, I think Rune Guy actually DM'd me about this. It was like the original Night at the Theater was god awful. Because it was just like do Tob with no exposition.
Yeah. Like you talk to the guy. If you had already done Tob, you got the quest done.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems kind of stupid, in my opinion. I'm glad
it was
they changed
really
it.
stupid.
Yeah. I'm glad they changed it. But I think Sarah Dolman 992, I think you might just be bad. Because, listen, you don't have to solo a night at the... Like, you don't have to solo Theater of Blood. You don't have to solo entry mode. You can do it with other people, and you can get carried through it. So that's what happens most of the time is like, if you're in a clan or you have friends and you're just like, hey guys, let's just do an entry mode. It takes like 20 minutes and you're good. It's not that bad. But if they didn't allow you to do entry mode, I think maybe mini quest would be the route. Up next, though, Spencer says the worst quest in the game is Children of the Sun, and the only way to fix it is to make it require AKD. Oh. Is that why it's bad? Is because it doesn't require AKD? We've had this discussion on the podcast a lot, actually, so it's kind of topical. Next up, Blues says, not even my least favorite, but Waterfall Quest. Make it better. Just delete it altogether. Let all new accounts suffer. Wahaha. P.S. Fuck the Underground Pass. Absolutely. Austin says, oh, that's a fun way to spell it. Austin says, A Night at the Theater is the worst quest. Should be a mini quest without a doubt. After that, Sheep Herder is horrendous for reasons stated. Now, you guys are answering the question, but you're not telling us how to make it better. I guess they are. With the Night at the Theater one, the making it better is the fact that you just want to make it a mini quest and not an actual quest. But next up, Schmidtstein says, Song of the Elves. They can make it better in one simple way. Rename it to Podcast of the Elves. It's a lot of talking. He says, also, Michael, you're not alone in the Mire Ditch route. Max main with 200 master clues, and I use the Berg de Rot as well. But if I get a Bloodveil task, I tell it to Tob. I use the Vire robes to get to the mine. Then I talk to the vampire to be teleported out of the mine and run south to get to the labs. As I'm typing this out, I'm not sure why I didn't think there was a better way. See, Oxie, I'm not the only one. We've proven there's at least one other smooth brain individual out there.
At least one.
Me and Schmidtstein. Next up, Other Fire Angel says, it's a horrible hot take, but Apatow looks awful and Monkey Madness isn't fun. They never finished it. I would make it better by making Apatow less cluttered and making the mechanics less janky. Interesting. I think Monkey Madness is an old quest, so it's like having janky mechanics is kind of a term of endearment, you know? It's like a lot of old content just kind of sucks. They can't just recode that stuff, so you have to kind of live with it. Next up, though, William B says, I can't stand any quest that requires a partner. Shield of Arov, Heroes Quest, Shades of Morton, they all suck because it forces you to play with other people. I play an FE man, an Iron Man, and I don't want to have to rely on someone else to finish the quest. Easy fix, just make the dang quest doable without requiring a friend. Also, Oxie is 100% right, and you cannot solo Shades of Morton. It is impossible. Damn, okay. Add it to the list. Got 2 more here. Next up is Melvin Man. They say, wow, Michael's first F-bomb on the show, and it was delivered perfectly. Fuck Rag and Bone Man. But I do agree with Oxie that it would be a huge improvement to let players construct one large vat for all of the bleach. That way, I could drink it because I'd rather die than do another one of those quests. Hot damn.
That's
Damn,
a response right there. That's a
Hot damn.
response.
You should get that. We should put that on a shirt. Damn.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't think the licensed therapist podcast host should sell merch that says, "Hey, drink bleach." As a potential thought, that's maybe not the best idea for the state licensed clinician on the show to do that.
You got to learn to separate work and personal.
I'm not the one who needs to separate it. It's the ACA that would need to separate that. So,
well, moving on to our last answer here. It comes from Fizeman15 says, I've been watching streamers do quests unguided, and I think that Goblin Diplomacy is, I said Fizeman. It's Fizzman. It's a callback, Oxie. It's a callback. I've been watching streamers do unguided quests, and I think that Goblin Diplomacy is terrible as an experience for new players. You get told to get orange goblin mail, then you visit Aggie to get dye, then you get dye ingredients, then you go back to Aggie, then you go back to the village, only to do it all over again because why would you have already asked for blue dye ingredients? It's too much back and forth that happens early on in account progression and could genuinely stop people from continuing to play. The fix is simple. Have General Wartface ask for orange goblin mail and General Bentnose ask for blue. Then the player responds that they may as well get them both. Also, make them give the player 3 sets of mail, rant over. Yeah, honestly, I have not done that quest where I didn't already have the ingredients ready. So as an unguided new player, it seems like a lot of back and forth when they're like, now I got to go do all that again just to get blue dye and get blue goblin mail. Yeah, makes sense. That's going to do it for the community question. Thank you so much to everyone who answered last week's question. This week's question is going to be, since you guys learned about Gridmaster after the show is posted, like Jagex always does, they post things after we post our episode or before we know. Of course, since you guys know all about Gridmaster, are you excited to play it? And if not, let us know why and what else you'll be doing in the game if you're not doing Gridmaster. You can answer that question on the comments in Spotify or under the pinned comment of this YouTube video. Moving on now to Achievement of the Week with Oxie.
It is time for Achievement of the Week. Kicking things off in the combat tier this week, we do have some fun achievements. That bearded person achieved their very first fire cape at like 2100 total level. Hell yeah. Razaru, Kron 117, and Captain Calf all killed Zulra for the first time. That's pretty awesome. Leo DiCaprio completed the Master Combat achievements. Trizzy completed Radiant Oathplate. Very hot, very sexy set. Love that. And then both my boy Russ of Fury and C minor 7, C minor 13. I know who you are, C minor. Both got their quivers. Big day. Big day for the boys. I know C minor's been going after mobile quiver and mobile inferno forever. So big day for the boys. Congratulations. Moving on over to the miscellaneous tab, we have 2 quest capes this week with, I kid you not, Rejected Wish and 99 Sex Having. What a name. Moving on, Rock Arm Man got their diary cape this week, and both KCT and Melvin Man got their music capes this week. But that's not all Melvin Man did this week, as Melvin Man had a funny feeling like he was being followed and got spooned his first pet. Or had a kid. Either way, he got 99 dad this week. Congratulations, Melvin, man. Finally, moving on over to the skilling category this week. Chips FE achieved 99 crafting. JX Riot achieved 99 range and mage. Zerniak achieved 99 fletching. Rare achieved 99 farming. Walt Kidney achieved 99 range. Saga 7 achieved 99 smithing. Mr. Microwave achieved 99 crafting and 99 wood cutting. Santher 5150 achieved 99 strength. Ratty Cole achieved 99 fletching. The Last Plague achieved 99 fishing. KCT with the double-double this week achieved 99 attack. 99 Sex Having, also with a double-double this week, achieved 99 HP. Vexy RS achieved 99 farming. And Diesel Daddy achieved 99 hit points. We have some more total level achievements as well, because both Steel Beams and Red Wine Lips achieved 2K total level this week. Welcome to your new worlds. There will be less bots and less shitters. Welcome to the 2K worlds, made to the big leagues. And then finally, both Chemical and Rui Bear achieved 2277 total level. They have maxed their old school RuneScape accounts. I believe Rui Bear did it with 1299s in one sitting, which is absurd. I don't know which 1299s because they didn't post it, but 1299s, and that's crazy. You've done it. You can play the game for a couple of weeks until sailing comes out. But I think it's a cool achievement to max before sailing. I hope they give us some sort of like cosmetic, not for our max cape, maybe like for our POH, right? Like a cosmetic max cape for our POH that doesn't function like a max cape, but rather like, you know, you could just look at it because you maxed before sailing came out. You know, like a nice little, what's the term I'm looking for? Like legacy item, you know, maybe a little like maximum skill banner or something like that. You put your curtains, make them look like max capes in your house.
Have it be 2277 or something.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to be 2277 to put this item in your POH, and then you can no longer activate it when sailing comes out. I don't know. Nice legacy item, but either way, cool that you guys got your max capes. Very proud of you guys, not just YouTube, but everyone who achieved something awesome this week on Achievement of the Week. If you did something awesome, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL and post about it within the levels and achievements chat. We'd love seeing your cool achievements. We absolutely love it. But go ahead, talk to us about it. Whether it's base 60s or a Zuck helm, we don't care. Come check it out. Come join the Sunday Raider crew. We would love to see you guys. I cannot milk this anymore, but we do have objectively the best RuneScape Discord in the world. Michael, my friend, do you have a fun question for us this week, my boy?
I do, and it's off the dome because
I forgot. Man, off the dome! Holy,
off the dome! I forgot to go to the post office. Like I said, there's probably a postcard in there waiting, but I forgot. So, Oxie, I'm going to ask you this question for the fun question. If reincarnation was a thing in old school RuneScape, and every time you died, you got teleported into a random NPC or monster's body, and you had to, like, I don't know, stay there until you died. What NPC or monster would you want to be reincarnated to so that you could control their mechanics? So, as an example, you die and you get reincarnated as a like a greater demon. Your life is just spent walking around and occasionally punching things. Or you could get reincarnated as Olm. And now you have to figure out how to turn your head, send autos, when to send specials. You control Olm essentially. Like you are the player character. You are controlling Olm. Which would you rather have? Or what NPC would you have?
First of all, I think being Olm is hysterical because if I was Olm, I would want people to know. I'd make a big announcement like, hey guys, I got reincarnated as the Great Olm. Get ready for easy chambers, guys. Like and I wouldn't change a fucking thing. I would hype up chambers to be like, dude, now it's player controlled. We are going to be we're going to be eating good with purples. I would not change a thing. I would still dunk on people through prayers in CMs. I would still jad. Oh my God. I jad like crazy. I would only jad. It would be stupid. Well, no, it wouldn't because sometimes I wouldn't. So like jadding is frustrating because you don't expect it, and that's what it would never be expected. You wouldn't be able to figure out a pattern. I would skip specials randomly. I would give an extra auto attack.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know how troll that would be if once every Olm fight randomly, instead of sending a special on the 4th attack, he sent it on the 5th. The amount of people who have been doing chambers for near a decade at this point. If like they're getting ready, you know how you like step back to avoid the crystals on the floor or spawn the crystals somewhere else, or you're trying to like flame skip or something like that. Could you imagine they try to flame skip and they're like, that's weird. He didn't send flames. Boom. Then like the next special you get hit by it. Like you were correct, but fuck you. I would love to be Olm for that reason. But because it's very relevant right now, there have been a lot of content creators pushing videos about bots. Angus made a really good video about botting. And I love Angus's content. So he put out a video about bots. I've heard Solo Mission as a video about bots. I want to be Zulrah. And the only mechanic that I'm going to add is I'm going to look you up on the high scores. And if you don't look like a real person, Zulrah's going to snatch down and bite you and delete your account.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Zulrah is going to be the most dangerous boss in the game for low-level Iron Men.
Yeah. Because you gotta balance your account.
You have bare minimum stats to get to me from Regicide, but somehow you already have a regular Trident. How does that work? The low-level GIMs are going to be shaking in their boots. Like, could you imagine, like, say you're a new GIM, you join a GIM team, they kind of outfit you with some really good gear, you get the bare minimum stats, and then Zulrah's like, you're not a real person. Drags you underwater and deletes your account. You're just insta-banned permanently. You're like, what the fuck? Like, that
would be hilarious. Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. But that would be my mechanic. I would kill bots. I would wipe them off the face of the earth. I would absolutely kill bots. Or I would be a banker.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I would be a banker NPC or a Grand Exchange NPC. And if you were not a real player, I would block you from using the bank.
Oh, wow. You're a UIM now.
No, you know what I would do? I would delete shit in your bank every time you close the interface. That would be so funny.
Like slowly. Like you lose like 10K here, use like 30 law runes. Just to mess with people.
I want the bots to, but it's not for people, it's for bots.
Oh, it's for bots.
I want the bots to break and not understand what's happening. I want their code to fry.
Yeah.
When they constantly open their bank to go mule and go, what? And even, I don't know how I would do it. Just let me become Gothic. So every time people trade, I can just delete their traded items when they mule their gold over.
It sounds like you want to work on the anti-cheating team at Jagex, honestly.
I mean, it'd be fun.
Because that's probably what they do. Is they're like, you know what? I'm going to become Zulrah for the day. We're going to nuke a bunch of
green helms, beware.
Oh, no. For mine, I think it would be fun specifically to be P1 or P1 in Toa, Emasculate or whatever, the Wardens. That's what it's called. Where the actual guy, not the left, right, center guy. Is that P2?
Mm-hmm. It's P2.
Okay.
I was like, Michael wants to be an obelisk. I
don't want to be an obelisk. I want to be a boss. P2. So P2 and Wardens, it'd be fun. If for some reason somebody like chooses the guy that can walk around, I get to walk around and attack people with melee. But for probably like 99.9% of the raids, it would just be the guy that stands there and throws attacks. But it would be cool, like, to be able to initiate the specials. Like I'm imagining if I was the boss and I was controlling the boss, I would get to click and choose where the skulls go, the skull bombs. Like I choose the individual tiles for it.
Mm-hmm.
That boss also has a Jad mechanic in the sense that I could just throw range, mage. It could just get crazy with it. But I think my real answer is Olm. And I kind of used it for the example to jog your memory. But I honestly feel like playing as Olm would be so fun. Because you could make challenge mode hard mode. You know the specials where like the lightning and the fire? So a special that like if I was Olm, I would make challenge mode hard mode where every single tile is just a wave of lightning. And you have to lightning skip because there's no safe tiles to stand on. Mm-hmm. And then the flames, it would flame every single available space. So when you use the water spell, you have to get to like the right spot and you can't just run out. It'd be fun to mess with people that way. It's like, wait, there's 2 rows of fire? Well, there's no safe spots with the lightning. It would just be silly. So Olm would be fun because there's a lot. There would be so much to take into account if you were doing Olm and you were the Olm guy. Because like, what if for the crystals, what if for the crystals in the mid, like when both hands go down, you're just like spam clicking the area, and that's where you assign the crystals to fall. Like you're just spam clicking, and then they all just fall. I'm trying to think of how the boss mechanics would work if you were controlling them. And I think Ohm would be a lot of fun because there's a lot going on. But that was off the dome. That doesn't happen very often, but I think that it, like, in terms of reincarnation, there's so many things you could do. There's so many things you could do and experience in this game as like a reincarnated goblin. You just explore the world as a little guy, you know? So that's a fun question. And that's also the end of the episode. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to find out more about Xpwaste, we have a lot of things to check out in the description. I mentioned the postcard, but yeah, if you want to send a postcard or you want to send penis-shaped pasta, you can send it to our P.O. box. And the address is in the description. And you'll find all of our social media links there. We have links to our shop, links to our Patreon. Everything's going to be there. But that's going to do it for the episode, guys. Thanks so much for listening again. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.